I have a hole in my head.
That's what I hear.
What? I said I have a hole in my head. Cancer cut off.
Okay.
Drill.
Call to order the Stevensville Town Council meeting for Thursday, May 14th, 2026. Janelle, please call the roll.
Councilmember Bailey? Present. Councilmember Ross?
President.
Councilmember Wandler?
Present.
Councilmember Smith?
Here.
And Mayor Cruz.
Here. Okay, so you're coming for the Pledge of Allegiance. Chief Bo, if you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. That's a new custom I started when I came back as mayor. I randomly called somebody to lead. Okay, this time we'll call for public comment for anything that is not on the agenda and under the control of the town council. Okay, hearing no public comment, Ms. Bailey?
Make a motion that we suspend town council rules and move up items before we do the approval of bi-weekly claims.
Is there a second? Councilmember Ross, seconds the motion. There's a motion on the floor to bring new business item B to the forefront of the agenda so that we can get this young lady's FFA item taken care of so they can get home. Is there any public comment regarding that motion? Okay, now I'll call for the vote.
Councilmember Bailey?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Wandler? Aye. Councilmember Smith?
Okay, motion carries forward. Next item on the agenda then is discussion decision, FFA program educational exception. Okay, if you please come to the podium, young lady. Basically what we're doing here is we have a town ordinance, section 4-2, and it talks about keeping livestock under control within the town. So there are exceptions to this ordinance, and one of them is item C. The prohibitions under this section shall not apply to an academic or extracurricular program operated in conjunction with the town public school system. Any person or entity seeking to establish an academic extracurricular program under this section shall submit to the town council for approval a site plan showing the proposed stock area and the number and type of animals to be contained on the site. Any program established hereunder shall remain in compliance with section 411 and 420, which revolves around nuisance and due to noise and odor. So the young lady that is going to run this project will make sure that she keeps everything under control. If you look at your agenda package, you'll see that there is a plan for where she's going to put this. Okay, and an overhead view showing the property. So what would you like to say? Just tell us what you want to do.
I would like to keep my 2 show lambs in my backyard. That's my SAE for this coming school year. And keeping them in my backyard it would help me out a lot because they're closer and I would have more time to spend with them and it would make it easier for me to take care of them properly like I need to with my other extracurriculars.
Okay. Councilmember Bailey.
What's an SAE?
Supervised agricultural experience.
Thank you.
Councilmember Smith.
How many cattle are we talking about?
2 sheep.
Two sheep.
Yes.
Okay. Then I would also ask, has the neighbors been informed?
I have not talked to them.
We have not spoke, I'm sorry.
Okay, if you want to speak, go ahead and stand up and introduce yourself.
I'm Davey Jackson, I'm the father. We have neighbors to the east and the west. We have very good rapport with them.
I can discuss that with them, but I don't foresee any issues with that.
Councilmember Bailey.
And so how long would you have the sheep in your backyard?
I would have them until fair, so like around September.
Starting when?
As soon as we can get approval.
Yeah.
Okay, so like immediately until September, so all summer long essentially, and then
Yeah.
early fall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any other council comment, question?
Are these sheep being raised for FFA project for
Yes,
the county fair?
yes,
2 of them?
yes,
Are they lambs or
yes, they're both lambs.
they selling us food?
One of them's gonna be market and then one of them's a breeding project.
And we're not, just to be clear, we're not breeding
Yeah,
on the
no.
property. Yeah.
They're going back to the breeder.
Any other council questions? Councilmember Smith? No?
No.
Okay, any public comment? Chief?
Can you explain a little more what is involved in this SAE project?
Okay, address your comments here, even though he asked the question, you address your comments here.
So in SAE, it's something we do like within FFA, and it can pretty much be anything. It just helps you learn more about like agriculture and like different aspects of it. So you can pretty much do anything like animals, plants, like if you work out on a farm, that could be an SAE. It just helps you get a better understanding of different sides of agriculture.
Who is your instructor?
Mr. Motley and Miss Hackett.
You knew who that guy is back here? That's his daddy.
Yeah, give us some,
Any further public comment? Any further council discussion?
So you guys are on Valley View and you have 2 adjacent neighbors, no one behind you?
Correct.
Okay.
It's open field behind.
Okay. I think that's my only question.
Anyone else? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote.
I need a motion.
Oh,
Please.
good, the emotion. Councilmember Ross.
I move that we approve the FFA program with the educational exception.
Okay, is there a second? Councilmember Water. So the motion's on the floor to approve the FFA program educational exception. Further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote.
Councilmember Wandler,
Aye.
Councilmember Ross,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
I like farmers, aye.
Very good.
and Councilmember Bailey.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. Congratulations. Remember, you're the responsible party.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, good job coming up here.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is approval of the bi-weekly claims. And if you don't want to sit through the whole meeting, you don't have to. We moved you forward so you could go home and have some dinner and do what you're going to do.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is approval of bi-weekly claims. Councilmember Smith.
I move to approve bi-weekly claims number 20352 through 20374.
Okay, motion on the floor to approve claims 20352 to 20374. Is there a second? Councilmember Ross.
I'll second.
Councilmember Bailey.
So I just wanted clarification on what all the Amazon incremental amounts were.
Those are orders that they did on Amazon and put on the credit card.
Okay.
And so each one of them, like with you, for example, goes 4, sheet 4, 8, 4, 12.
Uh-huh.
And you see Amazon, where it's about 22, 48, 22, 48, 20. That's something for public works that they're gonna use in public works, water, and sewer, so it should be a credit card receipt, and I can tell you what it is, but That's why it's broken out like that, and it's so long, because each one of those little items is broken down into two different categories where they're gonna go. Does that make sense?
So was it one large purchase and we're just breaking it out under different cost centers, or is it?
These are a few different purchases, I just, by looking at it, I can tell you got, that one matches the 33% for public works water, so we normally do.
Multiple items.
Multiple
Okay.
items, yeah. And then the one below that, it's got the same order on it, that was broken out between 1,000 fund and all the different, broken out between just about every fund we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 funds. That's why it's setting them all on, some of them only $295.
Okay, and you don't know what it was that we purchased?
Normally I would have the credit card bill here, so let's take a look.
And then while you're looking at it, GoDaddy is gonna be the domain
Yeah.
for the website,
Yeah.
so that is.
Councilmember Smith.
Claim number 20362. This is Construct Montana.
That's building code.
That's what?
Building code enforcement.
Building code enforcement.
That's a lot of enforcement.
Yes, and it's gonna get worse.
So normally all the receipts are based in this thing, but I think because G was overseas, she
Okay,
only printed this part out for the packet.
okay,
And so I get to, and she's the one that actually did it. So I look at, we bought some batteries. We paid for critical disposal, local government extension from Bozeman, $225 breakdowns.
I can tell you right now that none of these purchases get made without going through the finance officer.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I was just curious, because it took up a whole page, but I mean, looking at the amounts of, what we spend for Amazon, it's nothing that I think we need to hold up for, I was just curious if we had that information.
And there's not a lot of Amazon ones, but when we break it up.
Sure, it looks like it.
If I look at Amazon on the bill, we have 1, 2, 3,
5, that's it.
5 little things you get, but it turns out to like a whole sheet of stuff when you break it down to all the ones.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Councilmember Water.
Is, town of Stevensville fine with Amazon?
Yeah, we have our own account, yes.
For the business account?
With a business account, you know, what Amazon has done, you may not realize this, but it's like I buy a lot of parts myself. Okay, if I buy more than 2, it won't let me buy them. Because they put a limit on the number the individual can buy. So I have to have an Amazon business account. And when I go over to the business account, I can buy as many as I want. And because I'm buying multiples, I actually get a discount. So the town can do the same thing.
And our shipping is almost always free.
Yes.
Anything over like $30, then it's free. So we will hold on to a few things. If it's not enough, it's like a little $20 thing. And usually she'll do a double check with all the supervisors if they need something. And then at that moment, then that shipping became free because it went over the dollar amount.
It's a lot different than,
What's that?
it's a lot different than regular Amazon, Frank.
It's a little bit different, not too much different. You really can't tell much difference on the site, other than when you go to check out, it tells you how much you saved.
Do they also get a check at the end of the year for what they have purchased? Or is that not applicable?
For Amazon, no. No, that's for like Costco,
We also don't have an Amazon credit card. We're using our bank credit card.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Just ask.
Any other questions on the claim?
Yes, I have one. I can't find it. So on the, claim 20353,
Say that number again?
20353, Recon USA Inc. Are we renting a printer for $1,000 a month?
No.
No, that's $100.
That's a different item that you're looking at.
Yeah, so that's just the printer lease, and it's $133 a month.
That's not.
And it's broken up between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different funds.
Yeah, it's a fuel tank rental, okay. Is the IT services also in questioning 20355?
5.
Yeah, that's IT services.
Yes, first call, yeah.
How do we determine what IC service we're going to for the first call computers?
How do we determine it?
Yeah,
Well, we can go way back, but when I first started working, we didn't have IT services at all. We didn't even have a software for protection of the computers. And then so they got a big bottom line, they contracted out to get an IT services. The first call was the one that applied. And then our contract got redone under last mayor. And so we went out for a contract for our RFP, and they're the only ones that come back. There's someone else that came back, but they were out of state and were way out of the ballpark. So they're about the only ones offered. So they all that based on the number of computers we have, based on the number of firewalls we have in all the different locations. That's how much it's costing us.
is this an ongoing contract we have
Yes.
here?
Yes.
It doesn't terminate, having the bidders and everything,
It does,
It will,
every
yeah.
3 years.
33 years.
it seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, yes, it does.
$2,500 a month.
It's gone up a lot since we first got it. And they were sold to a different company too, from the time we issued contract.
Councilor Smith,
Just for information only, 20371, Montana Legislative Services. What is that? Been going to the, what is it, MCA, all that.
Is it in the negative 225 or something, is that correct?
Water.
031 for $350.
$350.
Montana Annotated Code.
I'm sorry, the number again, I got it.
It is 20371.
It's the
That's the
last
page.
MCA.
Yeah,
The
that's,
new set of MCA code books for Judge O'Connor.
I see, okay.
we have to.
Right behind you, you see all those code books? She had to get the new set.
Oh, there they are, okay.
Every 2 years, yeah.
and make sure you're using the correct code,
Now I know.
and they're really modifying it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions on the claims? Public comment? Can I get a motion on the floor?
Already have
No further comment?
Councilmember Bailey? Aye. Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Wadler? And Councilmember Smith?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is administrative reports. Our airport manager is not here tonight, so I will read his report for him. Maintenance, all lighting repairs have been completed. On Wednesday, April 2nd, I received a call regarding a large pond forming in the grass near the pilot shack. After further investigation, it was determined that our domestic water piping had developed a leak. The well was shut down in an effort to preserve it, as it was unable to build sufficient pressure and would not shut off. Thank you, Steve Lassiter, who came up on multiple occasions to excavate and help locate the leak. Unfortunately, the leak occurred at a location where the service line branched in 3 directions. Additionally, the system consisted of both poly pipe and galvanized pipe. Due to the size of the pipe, 1 1/4 inch, the required fittings were not readily available and had to be ordered. Over the following several days, repairs were completed and water service was restored to approximately 90% of users. 1 remaining branch still requires repair and expected to be completed within the next few days. Our 2026 spring cleanup was held on May 2nd. We had 7 volunteers spend most of the day making repairs, mowing, edging, and spraying around the airport. Lunch was provided for all those in attendance. The work completed by these volunteers made a significant impact on the airport's maintenance needs. Capital improvement projects for 2025-26. The fuel farm project is nearly complete. The tank was set on April 27th. Over the following week, the tank was plumbed and wired and testing began. The system is still undergoing testing, which should wrap up by the end of this week. We expect to receive all the final testing results by late next week. The asphalt maintenance project will take place during the week of June 1st. During this project, approximately 90% of the airport's asphalt surfaces will be cleaned. Cracks will be repaired and sealed. The surface will be seal coated and all markings will be restriped. The remaining 10% will be replaced later this summer as part of the asphalt rehabilitation project. As a reminder, all of these projects are being fully funded by the FAA and Montana Department of Aeronautics. Fuel sales. April fuel sales increased over March totals. During April, 1,475.63 gallons were sold for a total of $9,152.20. Okay. Any questions on the airport report? Good. Next item is the building report. Building. What's it?
I put it in front of everyone, it did not make the packet.
Building permits. 3 permits. Electrical, 4 permits. Mechanical, 3 permits. Plumbing, 2 permits. Total of 12. Total fees collected, $9,312.94. In regard to these building permits, I discovered on my rounds in town a contractor doing some work on a house. And I just stopped and asked the individual what was going on. He said he was replacing the furnace for the individual. And I said, well, he said, I'm not charging him, I'm just doing it for a friend. I said, oh, that's cool. So I said, just to be on the safe side, if you do work in town for money, you've got to have a business license, okay? And I did mention to the fact that he needed a mechanical permit to do this job. The result of that is the individual came in and complained to the chief of police and wanted to have me criminally trespassed. I never stepped off the side of the road. I was very polite and very cordial, okay? I'm doing the job as the mayor. So if I happen to see somebody doing a job, as we found going on another street in town where we had 3 trucks there doing a major job, I will make a call and I'll ask if they got the appropriate permits and the appropriate business licenses to make sure we're doing the jobs properly. These are important. Business licenses protect the town and the individuals here in town to make sure that you're actually getting a legitimate business to do your work. I can't tell you the number of people that tell me I got scammed. Guy came in, did an estimate on a job, paid a bunch of money, got paid a bunch of money, and then skated out of town, and you never find the guy again. In our business license operation, we are checking to make sure, one, that they're registered with the Secretary of State. Because you have to, if you run a business, you have to be registered with the Secretary of State. Then we validate what the business is. We want to know who you are, what you're going to be doing, and we get all that information, and then we'll issue a business license. We also have to have in some occasions, the fire department, a plan for the fire, when the police may need a plan for the business. So we're not doing this to be mean or anything like that, we're not doing it to make money. What we're doing it for is to protect the people of the town of Stevensville from anything that could go wrong. Building permits and mechanical permits and electrical permits are designed to keep your house from burning down or keep you from suffocating due to carbon monoxide poisoning and keeping you from getting electrocuted. That's the purpose behind these permits and the inspections. The town doesn't make any money on the permits, very little. The permits usually go to the people doing the inspection because they're carrying the liability for the property or for the project. That's why we have those things. So I wish people would just understand that when we ask these questions, we're just trying to protect the public. We're trying to do the job that you're paying us to do. That being said, Stevensville Fire Department, Chief Miley, you have a report?
Should be in your packet.
Finances first.
Oh, is it?
Would be if you don't know from
Okay.
Sorry.
Can Chief go ahead, because he's already.
Can Jeff go ahead of you today, Robert?
Please,
Check that line.
please.
All right, so April, we had 52 requests for service in April, 21 in the town, 29 in the district, with 2 mutual aid requests as well. Again, medical response is leading the charge at 37 out of those 52. Year to date, at the end of April, we were at 212 requests. I think I wrote the one today for 230 something, 231. So it's pretty much on par with what we've been the last couple of years as far as requests for service and the type of requests that we're getting. Medical always outweighs everything that we do. So it's kind of where we are. Right now, we're in the quiet before the storm, so to speak. Things are nice and green. They're not wet, but they're green. So as weather changes, I'm kind of fear that things are going to dry out in a hurry, and our forests around us are going to be at risk and a threat again. So those are things coming up. Other than that, it's pretty much business as usual. We're figuring, finishing up a few mechanical things next door on the different apparatus. Getting ready for the budget process. We're looking forward to doing all that. So,
Chief, can you speak to the public cutting the grass and the weeds around our homes right now? Because, yeah, we are a little bit green, but we're getting really dry, and some people are, they're getting a little bit high. I don't know if I went place today, it was almost knee deep.
yeah, I mean, that definitely will become a fire risk, a fire hazard. In the fire service, we consider those high grasses and weeds as ladder fuels. They ignite, they burn fast, they burn hot. A 6-inch grass length can produce a 3-foot flame length without any problem. So wood fences and decks and those types of things are very vulnerable to those types of ladder fuels, like flashy fuels, if they're not taken care of. And we do have ordinances that do speak to that the landowner is responsible to maintain and take care of those things. 1, 2, if you are the homeowner or landowner that does not do that and you're endangering your neighbor's property, you can also be cited for that as well. Those are all code violations and things. So that's an onus back on Chief Bo and his department to enforce those types of deals. But they are in the code books and in our ordinance books, different codes and hazards and things that need to be addressed. And unfortunately, the towns out there as well, we have a couple of properties that need to be addressed as well. So, but yeah, it will become a major deal in the near future.
Any questions to the chief? Any public comment to the chief? Hey, Chief Monty.
Yep.
Okay, finance department.
I'm sorry, finance.
Oh, no, you missed your turn. All right, Chief. Okay, so in front of you, I got two different packets. One of them is, we're gonna go through the revenue budget first, okay, where we're at as of right now. And just give you just highlights. So in the revenue budget, at Fund 1,000, first thing down below that, you'll see the taxes. And we're at 68% collected on the taxes so far. That will be made up in June, when we get the big tax check in June. Under license and permitting, you'll notice under the cannabis line, we're about $5,000 down on what we thought we were gonna get. That's always a guess. That money can come in anytime, and it could even come in with the tax checks like it has done in the past. So it's just kind of, it's always a shot in the dark. But we got more than $25,000 last year. We may get that, or a little bit less, hard to tell. Another item in that section right here is some business licenses. We're up $5,225 from what we expected, and that's a good number. Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Going to the next section, you'll see that section where you involve gambling, state entitlements. We're at 75%. We're going to get another big check here for this quarter, not be 100%. So that's good. Under charges for services, right now we're 58% collected, but the big one in that is the SR, school resource officer. We sent out an invoice from school. They're going to pay about $38,000 back to us, and that will go back up to about 100%. So we're doing good there. City court's doing good. We're at 79% there, what we expected. Miscellaneous, we're 131%. A lot of that is from donations from the chili feed. This year we added the chili feed to come to the town versus going to the association. So that changed that number a lot, about $29,000 up. Okay, so the donations are really good there. Investments, we're right on track with investments. It's about 88% right now. So we have total revenue income that we expected in the 1,000 fund. We're at 75% right now, which it looks like we're going to be able to most all those goals for those accounts. On the next page, the planning fund, you'll see that we're at 164% of planning fund. That is just it's an accounting deal. We get money from the contract and we have to pay back HDR for it, vice versa. And so that's just, it's in the middle of that, so that's really not revenue, that will be reimbursed. You know, go back and you see that. Everything else, the tax, the TIP district, the TED district, they seem to be doing good. You'll notice the building code enforcement, we're up about $4,000 from what we expected. That just means we're going to come and do a budget amendment because we spent that much more than what we expected. And that's just a number of permits that come in and the number of money that goes out. All the lighting districts, same thing. The rest of the money will come into the tax check in June. So nothing worried about there. Actually, you look at the water fund right now, we're at 103%. We're actually a little bit more than that because after talking to the auditors, you'll see that one of the lines for first line there under water services on page 4, water revenue, they wanted us to use that account versus what we did for the budget. So we'll just have to do an amendment to move that up to that line, and we'll be a little bit more than 103%. And that's when we talked about the budget for water rates and the sewer rates. That's what we're going to be looking at this year. Same thing with the sewer. So bottom line is everything is looking good. We're about overall 66% collected. Some of those are transfers between a couple of funds we haven't done yet. It was in the budget, so that will make that go pretty quickly. Questions with revenue?
Yeah, I'm gonna add something to Robert's report real quick. We're talking about, we're up on our business licenses, right?
Yes.
Okay, the reason we're up on our business licenses is because we're being very proactive on looking for businesses and making sure that they're licensed. We have listed approximately 265 businesses in the town of Stevensville that are operating in the town. And of those, we have about 180 that actually have business licenses. So we still have about 82 more to go. And every day we find something new. Okay, so just be aware that we are looking at that. And we know that everybody is, you know, if they're a contractor, they're not going to come in today and get a business now. They're going to wait until the 6 months is up and then come in to get business license, we know that. But just be aware that we do have a large number of businesses operating in town. And our business license ordinance is pretty specific. If you do business in the town of Stevensville for money, that's a business. It's, I'll read it to you real quick here. Business license requirement. No person, corporation, partnership, company, association, or society shall engage in business within the corporate limits of the town without first obtaining a license. This licensing requirement shall apply to all businesses, retail, wholesale, and industrial in the town, as well as home-based businesses and businesses operated by nonprofit organizations as defined herein. Any business license by the town should not be required to obtain additional license for conducting business at a temporary location within the town. You run across a contractor and you talk to them, so I got a business license. Yeah, with the state, not with the town. The towns are authorized to have a business license, so we enforce it. Okay, it pays for the chief of police and his police department, it pays for the fire department, it pays for public works, it pays for the clerks, it pays for the finance department, it pays for the guy going out cutting the grass on the street, it pays for picking up the trash. That's what a lot of those are for, and to protect the citizens of the town. So I hope that everybody understands that the license is important. You know, just, if you want to be scammed, do business with somebody without a business license, see how fast you get your money back. Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Just a little addition here that saying it's being proactive. I just had a dermatologist appointment and the doctor found out that I was on the council, and he immediately said, "Oh, I was just contacted. I'm going to get the business license." I said, "Well, thank you. I hope that doesn't affect my service here."
Yeah, Robert.
Okay, now we'll go on to the revenue, or the budget, the expenditure portion of it. Okay, that's the next sheet you got here. The first sheet is just the general fund, broken down by the general government, public safety, public works, and airport, and the culture. So if you look at all of them, we are all, the first part, general government, we're about 98%. Public safety, we're at 72%. Public works and airport, we're at 98% spent. And then culture, parks, forestry, swimming pool, splash pad, they're at 98% spent. So looking at that, we're looking pretty good for expenditures. None of them are over 80%. We're only have a month and a half, a little over a month and a half left to go in the general fund right now. So that's pretty good. The second sheet you'll see, now that's the contract, and that's just you look at the fund and you look at the percent spent, because a lot of them have one account, so I don't give you the whole account. But the one you would want to know is the building code. And so we've got that much more revenue. We have some more expense that's going to have to go out, so that's probably going to be a budget amendment for that. And the only other one we need to really look at is the airport. We're probably going to need a budget amendment for that, but that was because of the amount of fuel. Same thing, the more fuel we buy, the more fuel we sell. And so buying the fuel is good, we make more money, but then again, the expenses go up. So that's it's being a negative there is actually a good number, because we actually sold more fuel in that front. So all in all, we're about 52% spent in all the funds right now. Questions on expenditures? Yeah.
I guess I don't understand the building code enforcement. Can you?
So building code is that's where they just want to do all the inspections for the houses, water heaters and all that. So at the beginning of the year, you don't know how many inspections he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
He gets like most of all the money, because that's what the program is like. So we just took what we did last year, making an estimate of what we get, and then as people come in, it just kind of, the revenue goes in and the expenses go up at the same time. So he's done a lot more building permits than we thought we were gonna do this year, which is, I guess for the town of Stevensville, that's good, some they're coming in expected. That's how it works, it's just exactly like that.
Okay.
We get a small shaving off of it, you know,
I was gonna say, are we make,
we make a little bit of money if there's a plan review fee.
Okay.
Other than that, most of it goes to, Construct Montana.
Okay.
And then the last sheet, any other questions with expenditure? The last sheet is the cash, remember, the budget never matches the cash because there's more money, hopefully more money in cash than we have in the budget. You'll see the funds off to the left there. Basically, you know, we've got 213,000 in the general fund, 1,000, and all the funds down the line there. You'll see which are, the big one is tax incremental fund, got 359,000 in it. That's sunsetted, and at some point in time, the county is gonna ask for that money back. We could spend it. We spent a little bit, that's a little sliver of land right next to the 7.5 door up there by the railroad, so there's nothing that we could really do with it at that point in time. So at one point in time, they're gonna ask for that money back. We'll get some of it back because you have to redistribution the taxes, but most of that money actually goes back to the school. Looking at anything else here, I think everything else looks pretty good. For a grand total about in cash, which is always about right, I always say 4.4 million, but it's 398,497,011 cents in the bank. So we're right on track, and that matches the reconciliation to the bank. So that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. Questions with finance?
Did you find my $800?
Yep, I got to sign it.
I've asked the finance department to look in to finding us $800 so we can buy 5 new chairs. These chairs have been here since 2013 or 2014. They're getting really ragged and they're becoming an embarrassment to me. And I think to the council. Plus, they don't stay up, they fall down. So. Any other questions to the finance officer? Any public comments? Chief Bo, oh, I'm sorry, Robert.
One alibi, the next budget workshop.
Yes.
We don't have anything on the schedule right now. And so my recommendation would be the 28th before the regular scheduled meeting to get through 1,000. But that's up to you guys.
No.
Currently, I have Councilmember Smith out May 7th through June 2nd. And I have tentatively Councilmember Ross. His time kind of starts to play tomorrow. Am I correct on that?
It's confirmed tomorrow.
It is confirmed for tomorrow, he will be leaving. Okay. And then he will run anywhere from 16 to 18 day stints, working fires. So there is a large possibility on the meeting of the 28th.
We may not have a quorum.
May not have a quorum. Now, I don't know if that makes a difference for a budget workshop. I'll let you answer that.
For a town meeting, we don't have to have a quorum because we're not making decisions.
Correct. Okay.
But if we're gonna hold a council meeting, then we got a problem. We just got to look at crossing that bridge just before we get there.
So Robert is suggesting May 28th at 5 PM, an hour and a half prior to the scheduled town council meeting for a budget workshop.
Can you make that?
I will not be available prior to 6:30 on the 28th.
We do after the meeting, after the council meeting.
Can you do it after?
Yeah.
Okay. But we don't know what time the council meeting is gonna end. So can we look at an alternate day? Can we look at doing it on the 27th?
I believe that one was already scheduled out for you, correct?
Yeah. I'm out that day.
Then how about first, several of us are gonna be in training in Drummond, including myself. So the second, maybe?
Is that not the circus night?
Circus night is June 5th, I believe.
It's 2 nights. I thought they were Monday and Tuesday.
He has it down as June 5th through June 10th.
No, it's 2nd and 3rd, I think.
It's only 2 nights.
Yeah, it's Monday and a Tuesday night, first Monday and Tuesday in June.
Just letting you know, that's not what he turned in for his dates. And they already approved it as being June 5th, but we can discuss that later. Do you guys want to discuss this later
Yeah.
and
Let's discuss it later. We're gonna skip.
Okay.
If it's general fund, 5 o'clock, does not work.
Got it.
We'll look at the schedule and we'll come back with a better plan. Any other finance? Okay, Chief Bo, you're up.
I think he said it's the 8th and then.
That would make more sense. Thank you.
Good evening.
Hi there.
All right, so with you, you should have my activity report in your packets. Any questions? That always goes off. So for the month of April, we responded to 76 calls for service. We had 1 arrest, 2 traffic citations. April was a high traffic accident, I'm sorry. No, it was not. It was an average traffic accident month. We had 2 accidents. One of them was on Main Street and the other one was over at 5th and College. We did have 1 vehicle tow where we issued a citation and made an arrest. Zeros pretty much all the way down until we get to thefts. We had 8 thefts. 3 of those were gas drive-offs. We're able to mitigate all of those as well. We had 6 crimes, and those were confined to the school area. 2 fraud crimes, 1 criminal mischief, privacy and communication, and 1 threat and intimidation call. 6 suspicious activity calls, but 1 of the suspicious activity calls led to a DUI. 1 disturbance call, and then 2 unattended deaths for the month of April. 3 welfare checks, and 2 burglar alarms. Relatively a pretty slow month for us, other than the calls for service. Several of those were self-initiated. We spent the majority of the month of April doing in-house stuff, getting our training plan together, working in the property evidence room, and Jeff and I started working on policies and procedures a little more intently. Officer Ball has been back out on the street. He's been doing really well. He's somewhat of a town favorite, which is good for our line of work. And everything seems to be going all right. I think where we're at this point in time, the police department is within that budgetary restriction, so we haven't gotten any nasty calls or emails. Just say yeah.
You didn't check your email today.
So any questions relative to the stats for the month of April?
Council?
Chief Bo, you have something waiting for you.
Oh, yeah. 1 second. I have an interview. Back to what the mayor and the fire chief were talking about. A lot of these town ordinance violations, myself and Franklin and Bob have more or less pinpointed those specific areas that needed attention. We've made contact with a great many of them. There's some that we still do. And what we've done is we've kind of given them 7 to 14 days to correct the behavior before we take more punitive action. So we're trying to get them to be more compliant. But if it is a fire safety issue, I learned a little bit about, we're just listening to the fire chief about the grass and the fuel and all that. So we're probably going to lean on those a little harder. But we are taking care of trash and the easements, vehicles parked for long periods of time, and noxious weeds and things of that nature. So those are things that we've been communicating with the town members for the last month or so. And matter of fact, I said there that we had a tow. One of our tows was for a violation of town ordinance, being a vehicle that was inoperable and unregistered on the county easement right away for like 8 months. That the mayor actually pointed out and brought to my attention, and we went and resolved it. That's kind of what we're doing.
Councilmember Smith.
Are we, I know you just mentioned this, but are we looking into campers and trailers that are parked?
So we've actually
There's
given
quite a few.
2 physical warnings. One's probably the one you're familiar with. It's right there close to your residence, and we've already communicated with that individual as well.
Matter of fact, the chief and I are gonna take a ride around town together and look at some of these.
Cool.
Any questions? Thank you, Chief.
It's good to see you again, man.
Steve, you're up. Public Works.
I don't really have anything to add except we're thing started all at one time. So, got any questions? I'm here.
We did have one sewer backup.
Yeah.
Any questions?
If you see anything around town, the attention, chances are it's already on the list, but you can let me know if you want. Everybody else does.
Any other tree limbs down?
Not that we saw. I got that one in college.
We are taking care of some trees around town that have potential for causing problems. One of them's right back over here. We took one completely out, and the other one's been trimmed up.
He finished that one today. He has 1 or 2 left out of 82 or 84. He's almost done.
Good.
And you can tell it because this wind yesterday would have brought more stuff down. You can tell what he has done because the previous windstorms we had, we were pretty busy after every single one of them. And this guy here he's really helped us out. Because we need a little bit of a tree budget. It's going to need to be in the budget. You know, so we can do a little bit of things ourselves and hire some one-time deals. We don't have much of a tree budget, but we need one, a little bit. Just keep that in mind for
And the sewer water tour, Councilmember Bailey, could you comment on how that went with the city?
Yeah, I was gonna actually bring it up in my town council comments for my board report, but Steve and his team, Cody and Glenn, I believe, took the sewer and water committee on a tour of the sewage plant and kind of went through how that all goes through the town, which was really helpful and took a lot of their time, so thank you for
It was
that.
good to have you. It's good to see the interest. Jim Matisse, who's on your committee, I actually took him to the well house the other day.
Okay, awesome.
Gave him a
He just-
quick little tour. Oh, Jim. Well, a quick little tour there and we got interrupted, but about something in town. I mean, it was worth it. It was short, but
Yeah.
there's not much to look at up there compared to down there. So anybody who ever feels like it, I've got 15, 20 minutes, we can do.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, it's great to see like the state of the plant and kind of understand the process and some of the things that we talk about in here, so really informative.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Any other questions for Steve? Okay, thanks, Steve. Okay, next item on the agenda is informational for Stevensville Civic Club Circus updates. Janelle?
Yes, the Civic Club president, Mr. Madero, had a family emergency, so he sent me over a quick email. To let you guys know that everything for the circus is on track. It is the 8th and 9th, I just double checked their website, so that is why he set aside the 5th through the 10th, so he could make sure that he was at the park and prepping things with Public Works. He has spoken with Chief Bo and discussed a traffic plan for the 2 days of the event. He has already been coordinating with the American Legion for them to monitor the parking lot for handicap parking only, and while everyone will be parking along the side streets in that area. He's also arranged for the bidder disposal to deliver 8 of the 8 300-gallon trash cans for the circus to use for regular trash collection and animal waste. And additionally, they have made arrangements for restrooms and hand washing stations. And if there's anything else that comes up question-wise, please shoot me an email and I'll make sure that it gets over to Mr. Madero.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions from the public? Okay, council? Okay, next item on the agenda is discussion decision, new approach entrance to the Stockman Bank. Stevensville. Simon McCann is here with us tonight for the Stockman Bank. Basically, what they're gonna do is they're interested in building a new parking lot and putting a new entranceway on Main Street, which will involve removing some parking spots. So I'll let Mr. McCann. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Good evening. Yes, as Mayor Cruz stated, we are looking to expand our business operations, and with that, parking goes with it. What we are proposing is essentially where the tattoo shop now is. That becomes parking over to the side. And then we're proposing an entrance back on to Main Street to be able to exit that parking lot or go into it, depending on how the plans work out. Discussion as of now and talking with Mayor Cruz is recommendation to have a right turn only, which makes sense, given the parallel parking. If you tried to go left, it would be hard to see, when there's parallel parking up front. I think too, Mr. Cruz, we are also discussing the sidewalk. Is that correct?
Correct.
ADA. So another portion of this is to be able to, essentially the front of the bank right now in the building is not ADA compliant. And so the goal, is we would like to do things by the book and be able to have people access the bank in a reasonable manner. If you recall, in front of the building, there is a tree, that essentially is part of the sidewalk. And so what we are proposing and our architect is proposing is essentially a ramp coming from both sides. Keep in mind, I believe 7 inches, 6 inches over 12.5 feet. So you're talking about a 4% slope. But the thought process is people walking down Main Street on that side of the street can essentially go up the ramp and then pass the bank or go into it, but it allows ADA. Unfortunately, there's not enough grade there or distance to have the grade to be able to just go straight into the building. And so part of that with the tree there is, have you guys seen these plans? I do have extras. Okay. Essentially putting a curve that allows the tree to remain. Given the 6.5 inches, technically we do not need a railing by code, I don't think, but ultimately we would like to put one up, and it would be a decorative metal, look very nice, but it also makes people very aware that there is a ledge there. And talking to Mayor Cruz at another time, suggestion was bringing it all the way out to the curb. I did run that by our architect. Ultimately, the issue we run in there, without giving a little bit of space, is those 2-3 parking spots in front of it essentially would have to walk out into traffic to go around into their vehicle. So we're suggesting leaving a little bit of area there that allows people to get in and out of their vehicles in a safe manner. So with that, I just open it up for questions.
Council.
So I'm confused. The parking lot is gonna be right next to the tattoo shop, is that correct?
It will be where the tattoo shop is today.
Tattoo shop's gonna go away.
Oh, it is, okay, gotcha. And how, will those parking spaces be open to the public, or is it going to be bank customers only?
You know, that is a great question. I cannot say I could follow up with you.
Yeah, I'd be curious, because we're gonna lose 4 public parking spaces and then essentially create private parking instead.
Yes, and yeah, I would imagine public, but again, I don't want to speak out of turn.
Sure.
There. I don't answer that.
Do you know how many spaces are slotted to be in? Is that the correct numbering?
Yes, it should be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces, so.
And one's gonna be ADA.
Correct, so you have yeah. And you would be losing 4 spaces in the front. So,
Just make sure you understand, you're not making the decision to do this. What you're doing is rendering an opinion back to MDOT.
Yeah, I think for me, I would be curious about whether that's gonna be private parking or not. You know, if we gain 8 parking spots, we really would gain 4 in this essentially, but if it's private, then we lose.
Yeah.
Parking, which is already tough on Main Street,
yeah.
you know, during peak hours, so.
Yeah.
That would be my feedback.
Councilmember Ross.
The highway department, when we give our response, like, they're not required to listen to us, correct? Like, we're just giving our opinion.
We're rendering an opinion from the town to MDOT, and they'll make their decision based upon what we tell them. Or part of their decision we make on what we suggest. In other words, everybody's trying to work together on this to get this done, one way or the other. You know, whether or not we have to, they have to change the plans or go with this particular type plan, you know. And to be fair, Stockman Bank has come in, at least, I've had at least one, we had one good sit-down meeting and telephone conversations. They're doing everything they can to work with the town and MDOT to try to accomplish a goal here. So if you were to present a motion, I would suggest something along the lines of I move to render a positive support opinion to MDOT for this project, or negative, or something like that. Councilmember Ross.
With that, could we touch on Councilmember Bailey's concerns of the private versus public parking and just say that that's of concern to us?
Yes, absolutely. So, based upon the minutes of the meeting here, we'll write a letter, you know, reflecting what council has made an opinion regarding this project. So if council is in favor of doing this or allowing this project, then we will write a letter to that effect, and we'll include the concern about losing the parking, and will some of these parking spots be available to the public if needed. Does that meet your requirement, Councilmember?
It does, yeah.
Councilmember Ross.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve or submit a positive opinion to the MDOT regarding the Stockman Bank.
Okay. So the motion on the floor to make a positive opinion to MDOT regarding the Stockman Bank project.
With the
provisions that we address whether or not some of the parking can be used for public parking in lieu of the 4 roof. That makes sense.
That I will second.
Okay, so motion's on the floor to render a positive opinion to support the Stockton Bank project, with, caveat of addressing the use of some of the parking for the public parking spots in lieu of the ones we're moving for losing. Is there any public comment? Jeff?
So we're gonna stop traffic 40 feet closer to the intersection, waiting to make a left-hand turn across the double yellow to get into the city parking. How is that gonna affect traffic flow through the intersection with the stop sign?
Left-hand turn?
Yeah, if you're going south, you're turning into their new parking lot, you cross the double yellow.
Wait.
And if you're coming north, you can make a right into the parking lot, which is straight for a right turn.
Okay, the entrance to the parking lot will actually be through the alley, am I correct?
That would-
Main Street, we're taking up more parking spots.
Yeah, well, the exit would be on Main Street, which would take parking spots. It is my understanding, the entrance is technically from the alleyway, and then they would be able to exit taking a right-hand turn. However, I did see these plans tonight, which quite honestly
They're
confused
they're
me.
skewed the wrong way.
So,
Those parking spots should be, instead of going diagonally, so that it looks like it's coming in off of Main Street, they need to be rotated so that you're coming in from the alley into the parking spot. When you come out, then you go to Main Street and you make a right-hand only turn to exit. Chief Motley.
From my experience of watching the drivers on Main Street today, they're gonna make a left-hand turn right off of Main into that parking lot, even though you mark it as an exit only. They J-turn across there now to go to any store on Main Street. And what do you think is gonna curb that behavior? I mean, you'll have to have some type of hard curb that only makes them come out right. You can't come in from Main Street. I mean, that will have to be a design change on your plan. I'm not all for you putting in parking, believe me, but they're gonna come up, if it's gonna be a show on Main.
That recommendation right there can be included in the opinion. It's MDOT's the one that's gotta make the opinion, the final decision.
Right, but just my experience on Main Street over time has been.
I watched it
it's all
happen.
that.
I watched it happen today. Lady pulled backs up out of the parking spot from the drugstore and immediately did a 180 to go to the stop sign.
Yeah.
No clue.
I mean, if there's a way that somebody probably can turn in, and they're gonna turn in there. I mean, you have to, you can do it, you can build a curb.
You could put a small center barrier in there.
Something,
To stop that.
I think those would be things you might wanna take back to your architect and have them consider that.
no, thank you.
Councilor Waller.
It's kind of a concern, like the entrance into the physical therapy parking lot. They access it from Main Street. And the bank, yeah, they can.
There's the sign.
Well,
J Street.
you got the one bank, you come in off of, you turn left on the 3rd Street, then you turn left again to the alley to come into the back side of the bank. And then you exit onto Main Street to go to the physical therapy place. You're correct. They have allowed that so that you can come off of Main Street, coming south, turn left, go into that parking lot there. But their exit, they're supposed to go out through the alley.
But going south, in order to go to physical therapy, they have to cross that yellow line.
Yeah.
They should.
So the question is your opinion supports the project, but the design is going to have to remain with MDOT. We're not a design committee.
But we are concerned.
You are concerned, and those concerns can be sent with the opinion based upon your discussions here. So the motion's on the floor to render a positive opinion in support of the project with the concerns being added in, so the MDOT will be able to look at that. And plus, they will have access to this meeting via YouTube, so they can review everything that we've discussed. Councilman Ross.
I guess the question would be, if you're accessing the parking lot from the alley, would there be a way to make an exit out of the alley as well?
You know, with the space there, we did look at that. The issue you run into is really somebody coming in from the alleyway. If somebody's trying to come in, the other person can't exit. You know, in doing that, and of course I need to figure out if there's some public parking, but you know, in essence, I would argue you're taking away potential for parking, public parking as well. But, you know, that was discussed. There was a plan of that as well, but ultimately felt that exiting made the most sense for traffic flow, as long as, yeah. So, great question.
Any further discussion from the council? Any further public comment?
That's a great idea, Jeff, had, make a hard right turn around there to design that. That's pretty good. Because you see places like that, you're like, oh, I can't go that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what do you sign, no interest?
It's absolutely a sign for people who don't understand.
So
We know
interest.
we got them, so. That's kind of a great idea if you can work that. I mean, I would put that as one of my concerns. Pretty good.
Okay. No, and then afterwards I may follow up with you just to really understand that. So, but yeah, full intentions of obviously having signs.
Yeah.
Beyond that, if people violate them, I don't know what to say. That could happen if you call. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so. but thank you.
Councilman Ross.
I think it'd be kind of similar to like going into Cabela's in Missoula. They have that you kind of walked into how you exit.
Oh, okay.
And then they do, that parking lot does a pretty good job of kind of making it clear where you can get in and out.
If there's enough room to build all that.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get that. I mean, 18 feet opening, so what do you think? 8-foot driving lane.
Yeah.
She doesn't do it.
Any further comment? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Bailey, Councilmember Wandler, and Councilmember Ross.
I will draft, motion carries 4-0. I will draft the letter and make sure everybody has a chance to look at it before we send it out. Okay?
You're welcome.
And as discussion, decision, approval of the R2 zoning request for Stevensville townhomes. This property was annexed into the town. The property was not properly zoned, so the owner of the property and the project manager of the property asked me to take a look at that. So I looked at it and said, well, it hasn't been zoned, so we sent planning and zoning. Planning and zoning came back with a recommendation as follows. Planning and Zoning Board meeting on May 6, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. resulted in approval of the requested R2 zoning for Wheel townhomes. The board also recommended the request to the town council of an R2 zone for Wheel townhomes, with Wally Smith abstaining on both votes and Greg Chilcott absent. So with that, your decision tonight is simply to approve the modifications in resolution 490.
Your first thing is just your approval of the R2 zoning request from the Planning and Zoning Board.
Yeah, approval of the zoning request, and then we'll approve we'll address the resolution amendment to the zone that R2. Good.
Yeah, good evening, council and mayor. I'll introduce myself. I'm Norman Nestle. We live just outside town here, 3 miles. This whole thing kind of started, to give you a quick little background, back in 2021, when Brandon Dewey was still mayor. The town of Stevensville at that time sent out letters to all the owners on Park Street, wondering if they'd be interested in annexing into the city. As you know, Park Street, some is county, some is city. And so then, after conversation with Dewey, I was interested with the understanding that I could get R2 zoning. And of course, he assured me that that was very possible. And he said that, told me, I had an email going back to this, that they need to vote on the annexation and R2 zoning would follow. So we did all that. I moved ahead and designed these townhomes, went through HDR and PCI, been 3 years in the process, Janelle could vouch for that. And pretty much got everything put together, and all of a sudden realized there was no zoning attached to this property, which was, I'm not here to point fingers, but yeah. So that's really what this is all about.
So. Questions?
So adjacent properties are, I'm assuming, zoned R1.
R2. Most of them are R2.
They are. And this does not have any zoning attached.
It was originally zoned in the county as an R2.
It was.
And it was just, apparently it was just overlooked in the annexation. So that's all we're trying to do is to go back and put a patch on the system.
Okay.
Any public comment? Okay, can I get a motion? Yeah. Councilmember Smith.
Okay, I move to approve the R2 zoning request for the Wagon Wheel Townhomes.
Okay, is there a second? Councilmember Wander, to the motion on the floor to approval of the R2 zoning request for Wagon Wheel Townhomes. Okay, any council discussion? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Ross,
Aye.
Councilmember Wondler,
Aye.
Councilmember Bailey, and Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Next item on the agenda is, get to it here.
Yeah, that's easy.
Discussion decision resolution 492A. Boy, you were really slow tonight. Discussion decision resolution number 4, a resolution approving a petition to annex and annexing land and establishing residential zone in the town of Stevensville. All we're doing is on this original resolution, writing one paragraph, be it further resolved that the town council, town of Stevensville designates a tract of land located in section 26, township 9 north, range 20 west, 2.12 acres, CS number 477490, TR tract A be zoned R2, or zoned as an R2 zone. Any questions?
So I apologize. So this resolution is just saying that we have just really just signed off on what we just voted on?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Councilmember Ross,
I believe what we voted on was
the request is zoned, yes.
zoning from the town council, or I think it's,
Okay.
not the actual
Yeah.
decision.
This is the actual implementation of the zone.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Because as of right now, it's not actually.
Right now, it's not zoned.
And it needs to have some sort of zoning,
Yes.
regardless of whether we wanted it to be R2 or not, we need to have some sort of zoning.
The previous zoning, the county zoning was R2. So normally when you annex something in, you usually annex it into as the same zone as the county.
And it's surrounded by the same.
Do you know where the zoning map is?
Probably on the website.
It's also. It's right inside that door there. Any further questions from the council? Public comment? Jeff?
I think it's the only move you guys really have to do is go ahead and approve that R2 zone. I mean, Mr. Nicely has gone through every question who ever asked of him to move this, development along, this project along. And we went lengthy about fire and hydrants and water and sewer, and he was more than willing to do anything asked of him. And now for the town, oh, oops, we didn't do that. We need to make our part of it right and get this done.
And that's all we're trying to do. This should have been done, how many years ago?
It should have been done that night at 492 in 2021, so yes.
Can I get a motion on the floor, please? Councilmember Ross.
I'll make the motion that we approve resolution number 492A, a resolution approving a petition to annex and annexing land and establishing a residential zone into the town of Stevensville, Montana.
Okay, so the motion on the floor to approve resolution number 492A, a resolution approving a petition to annex and annexing land and establishing a residential zone into the town of Stevensville. Is there a second? Councilmember Wander. Okay, so the first and second on the floor. Any further comment or discussion from the council? Janelle, please call for the vote.
Councilmember Bailey?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Wandler?
Aye.
And Councilmember Smith?
Outstanding. I'm sure that he will be very happy.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is discussion decision resolution number 557A, a resolution of town of Stevensville, Montana, to establish irrigation and sprinkling days and times. This resolution has been in effect for some time, but we have to make an addition to this resolution to support new construction in town. People are going to be spending a lot of money on these new properties that they're building and putting sod in, and we have to be able to support them to keep the sod alive long enough to take root. So that is the purpose of this. I cannot go against council directive and tell them, oh yeah, go ahead and water. So we have to amend the resolution to do that. So the part that's changing is whereas due to construction activities and home building, it may be necessary to water outside the above days and times, the mayor may authorize for temporary periods not to exceed 2 weeks an alternate watering schedule, and when requested by the town council, report such exceptions. That's the change. Councilmember Ross.
What's the process for somebody to
They
seek that approval?
They can call the clerk and say, either Andrina or Janelle, and say, we put a new home in, we're getting our sod put in, we need to be able to water. And at that point, we can just simply issue them an email permit. That's all it's gonna take.
No additional cost.
They're paying for the water. So it's just, yeah, they're paying for the water. It's just, the watering days and times are set. So they need to be able to keep this stuff very moist in order for it to take root.
Daily watering out.
Any public comment? Okay, can I get a motion on the floor?
I move that we approve the resolution number 557A for the town of Stevensville to establish irrigation and sprinkling days and times.
Okay, so a motion on the floor to approve resolution number 557A, a resolution of the town of Stevensville, Montana to establish irrigation and sprinkling days and times. Is there a second? Councilmember Smith seconds. So we have a first and a second on the floor. Any further council discussion? Any further public comment? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Ross,
Aye.
Councilmember Bailey,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
and Councilmember Wander.
Very good, thank you. Motion passes 4-0. Next item on the agenda is discussion decision and approval of water and sewer committee bylaws. I've requested that this be tabled until after the next water and sewer committee meeting, because I want to discuss some of this stuff with the sewer and water committee. So could I have a motion on the floor to table? Councilmember Smith.
I move to table discussion and decision on approval of water and sewer committee bylaws.
Okay, so the motion on the floor to table the approval of water and sewer committee bylaws. Is there a second? Councilmember Wander. Okay, so there's a first and second on the floor to table this item. Any public comment? Any council comment? Call for the vote now.
Councilmember Ross has his hand up.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. It's camouflage. It's green.
I just, since we're not gonna approve it tonight, or we're discussing that, just wanted to add some comments to it. Reading through it, earlier in the week, just kind of felt that it was a little vague in what the water and sewer committee is supposed to be doing. Cause I kind of, in that first paragraph, it says, water and sewer committee is convened by commission of the Stevensville Council and will report to the town council any recommendations for findings that they deem relevant to town council proceedings. And I felt that it was a little vague as to what findings or what recommendations they were making. Because you could possibly read it as they are making recommendations to all town council proceedings, it's in the name, but it's not specific to what it is making recommendations to. So as you get.
One of the things I want to bring forward, the committee's been doing a good job, okay? They've been exploring lots of things. But what I want to discuss with the committee is establishing the mission for the committee. The committee's mission is supposed to be to study our water and sewer rates and find out why they're so high and make recommendations to be able to reduce them if possible. So they're looking at a lot of different things, but one of the things you really need to look at is the sewer and water bond. We need to look at that and see what we're actually obligated to do. And we're not hitting that yet. And I think that's an important thing that we need to hit. And that's what I wanted to discuss with the committee. I didn't want to really talk about it that much here tonight because it's the committee that we need to discuss this.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that there doesn't seem to really be clarity as to what they're able to recommend. And just as they go back, as we table, they potentially have time to.
Look, this committee, this is a new committee. It hasn't been tried in Stevensville. So we've got some learning to do, both on the mayor's part, the committee's part, and the council's part, and the public's part. So that's what we're trying to do. So we have a little more freedom on the committee to talk about this stuff and come up with a mission statement. And that's what I'm really after, is a mission statement. So that makes sense? Thank you. Any further comment or discussion from the council? Call the vote.
To table.
Table.
Councilmember Bailey,
Aye.
Councilmember Ross,
Aye.
Councilmember Wander,
Aye.
and Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
We will bring this back at our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Whichever one that might be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is discussion emergency procedures for town water pump failure. Steve, I'm glad that you hung around because because, you have developed a plan in case the water system goes down. Okay, can you describe that, please, before we actually read these recommendations?
Yeah, so, we had these two incidents. In our main priority, you get there, it's before light and we're shining flashlights and everything. So our main priority is to get it on as quick as we can. And because the school, I'm getting phone calls from the school. How much longer is it gonna be? How much longer is it gonna be? We're gonna have to dismiss school. So to me, that's a higher priority than a neighborhood. I know it sucks to have to get up and go to work, no shower and all that, but I don't want them to have to turn school loose and all those parents have to come back and pick the kids up. The buses run again, they take them home, there's no parents there. Close the school down because of this would have been terrible. So that was my main priority. When those pumps went down, and it was a SCADA issue, and it was an electrical failure, Northwestern Energy, and you can blame anything, but the fact is, it happened twice. And our main focus was to get it back up as fast as we could, and we did. Got it up really, really fast, and we saved school from dismissing. Okay, so when we did that, we injected a lot of air into the system, and Creekside Meadows kind of suffered from it. And they, for some reason, they're the only ones. School doesn't have this super aeration problem. Nobody else in town does. It's only, for some reason, that neighborhood. And they're fed off of 2 booster pumps. There's the well house, pumps water up to the reservoir like 3/4 of a mile away. It's gravity fed back down towards town. It diverts at Logan at those 2 booster pumps and shoots it to Creekside. We have been boom, 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 turning pumps back on, going to turn those booster pumps back on and trying our best to get that reservoir filling back up again. So what we're going to do now, if this ever happens again, heaven forbid, we're going to go straight to Creekside. We're going to open 2 or 3 fire hydrants. We're going to go to the booster stations and only turn 1 pump on at a time, and you have the ability to slow that pump down. So we're going to send water that way slowly, basically. And we're going to ramp up as the system fills back up again. Amanda's going to be at a fire hydrant, and we're just going to open that thing up all the way and hope you hear air coming out. Hope you hear it sputtering, just like your kitchen sink when you got air in your faucet. It spits and sputters. I talked to Dallas at Eagle Drilling. He thought that was a great idea. He's been in the well business here for years and years. So I ran this by him and talked to him for almost an hour one day on the phone, and he helped me sort of go through this. I said, what do you think about this? And me and Cody had already kind of come up with this, but I ran it by him. He said, yep. He said, that would be probably better than what you've been doing. So we wrote it all down, so we'd have a protocol. We're going to post it up there and everything at the wells, but we're going to try that next time to see if that works and alleviates Creekside's aeration problem. The water's fine. It just doesn't look good. You pour it into the tap. You hold it up. It's kind of cloudy. You set it on the table, and 2, 3, 5 minutes, it's perfectly clear again. It's because the air bubbles busted out of it. So it's good water, but it doesn't look good. So we're going to slow the water down next time. Only turn on 1 pump at a time, ramp 1 pump up, then get the other one going slow, and then ramp that pump up. When water starts flowing from the hydrants, we're going to let it go a while. And let as much air as we can get out of that system before it goes into the houses. I'm not saying it's going to fix the whole thing, but it's worth a shot. I think it's a pretty good plan.
And I think what helped clarify the water this time was the fact that people had already started to turn the irrigation on, their sprinklers, and that helped increase the flow and helped it clear up a little bit faster. Yeah. So Mrs. Wolf submitted something to us. It says town water pump failure, town council agenda item, emergency procedure for town water pump failure. And Steve, you've had a chance to look at this, right? Okay. She suggests one, immediate assessment and safety, quick response to water testing analysis of coliform and E. coli in 24 to 48 hours by RD Lab Missoula. Contact Montana DEQ of contamination. Contact local authorities such as police, fire department. Email town water users of the water shutdown and when water pumps are back in service. Implement contingency plans for water in the event of a fire. Diagnostic inspection, troubleshoot the issue, e.g. broken pump, software issue, pressure pump failure, repair, replace, engage professional repair services to fix, clean and replace components, as well as additional training and IT support for software programs. System testing before returning the pumps to service, fix leaks, disinfect system if needed, preventive maintenance, regular inspections, we do that already. Report town council at the first meeting of pump failure. The pump works report should explain the event and action taken. The report should include the numbers of water users calling in town hall, public works, or the emergency numbers on water bills. Other information such as names, addresses, phone numbers, and water users calling should be collected but kept confidential. List water issues on the town's website under resources, news, list emergency numbers to call if there are water crisis along with dates and resolutions. The town water pump failures of January 21st, April 7th. I hope the above is adopted and helpful in making sure our water system is working properly in the future. So Steve, you got a copy of it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you would please take a look at that and see what you can implement in. One thing is when we sample water, see what's it costing per water sample right now?
You know, Jimmy gets all those bills, and I mean, that last one, on the January one, I did send in an E. coli deal. I think it was like $400. I got it from Gibson's house, yeah, and it was, it all protocol. The water was perfectly fine, just like we expected. But, that was to any labs, our regular lab, we're familiar with, we have an account with them. I'm not going to some other lab, we're going to go to any. You don't, if you have a problem, if that water had to come back bad, you don't have to worry about notifying EPA because the lab does that.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're gonna try to do in the future with the clerk's help is when we do have a failure like this where we get a lot of aeration, they're gonna put instructions on the website to tell people how to flush their systems and get that air out as quickly as possible. You can't just open your faucet for 2 or 3 minutes and let it run. You gotta open it up and let it really run. It's like opening a fire hydrant. You can't just open a fire hydrant, crack it, let it spurt a little bit. You need to open it up and let it go. And that's a lot of water, and we're paying for that water. So we're working on it, and we're not gonna let it impact us so much in the future.
Yep.
So
Try to make a good plan.
I appreciate Public Works going out and doing what they're doing. We're learning, we're getting better.
It should be noted that neither one of these things was a result of a failure of the public works.
Right, it wasn't a failure.
We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't have anything to do with it. We just wake up, get a phone call, and we'll go. One of them was a SCADA deal, and one of it was the power failure that day. We, out of our control.
Any public comment on that? Okay, any council comments? Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is board reports. Any board reports? Okay,
The only report I have, we dealt with it, so.
okay. Town council comments. Okay. Executive report. Clarks and I are working diligently to make sure that we're caught up on our business licenses. They're important. We need to make sure that the businesses doing town are licensed. Basically, we make phone calls and send emails out. Occasionally, I might make personal contact, but we're gonna try to stop doing that. We're just gonna try to do email and phone calls to try and get these things done. I think trucks are up there. We discovered that we have a permitting process that we have to complete. And Steve, I don't know if you've been approached with this or not, but we have a plumbing permit issue where when people are putting in underground sprinklers, there is an inspection that has to be done, and that's for the backflow preventer. Okay, so it's one fitting and one inspection that has to be looked at. So when new homes are going in, they're getting sprinkler systems, that's one of the items that we need to add to make sure that we're getting that covered. And the backflow preventer is very important so that we don't suck water back into our system.
Right.
Usually, and yeah, you're supposed to do these things on repairs, but for the most part, it's mostly new construction. Let's see, anything else? I think that's about it. I think we covered everything else in our discussions tonight.
Motion adjourned.
Is there a second? Hey, all in favor?
Councilor Ross, were you second? You were second, Barbara? Thank you.
Good to see you.